Ali Cobby Eckermann is an Indigenous writer who has made the series Inside My Mother to express the effects of the stolen generations and colonization of Australia. It tackles the most important issues in our contemporary society, with Western colonization affecting Indigenous culture, such as history being hidden, languages being lost, and identity being lost. Throughout Inside My Mother, Eckermann makes numerous references to the culture of the Indigenous people, and this can be seen prominently in Unearthed. Here, the use of a metaphor in this line shows a desire to show Australia the real truth of its history, instead of covering it up and trying to sweep it under the rug. Excavate implies that the history of Indigenous culture was buried when the Western society colonized Australia. With the many years of suppression for the Indigenous people, it was about time they had revived the rich and giant history of them. Metaphors and connotations aren't the only way Eckermann represents identity and culture. Eckermann also uses imagery and symbolism to help convey this. In the second stanza, oral imagery is used when mentioning the warriors, as a way that stands for pride and strength of the Indigenous culture rising through. Warriors are once again mentioned in the third stanza through the use of symbolism. This is an example of a visual symbol which represents the pride and power of the culture of Australia, with the first people returning to reclaim what they lost. While Unearthed focuses on the culture of the Indigenous people, Trance focuses more on the identity of individuals and their connections to nature around them. In the first stanza, nature around the old woman is personified as a group of entities that behave similarly to humans, which further shows a deeper connection between the Indigenous people and nature. Down here, it is told the old woman wears a possum skin cloak, which is a part of the identity of someone as it is unique to that person. As it's given at birth, and continuously added on later in their life, the cloak tells the story of the wearer. It also shows who they are, as a whole. The Tory bushes are a key item in Indigenous culture, as it connects the individual to nature around them, and in turn allowing them to feel more deep connections to the land. This Indigenous jargon tells us that this is rooted deeply to Indigenous culture. The third poem that represents the identity and culture of the Indigenous people through language is Leaves. This poem is about a girl who was a part of the stolen generation that reunites with her father. You've gotta be kidding me. We couldn't... Okay. Where is it? Here. Alright. In the first stanza, the father is introduced as a metaphorical tree, which can be interpreted as him being strong, connected with nature, or a respected elder. These interpretations all still represent his same identity in one form or another. The child had crawled to their father, despite not knowing them personally, which alludes to the fact that while they never knew each other, the child still inherited his leaves. This means that even if family have been separated from their early days for years, one can still have the Indigenous identity hidden within themselves. And here in this stanza... What? There's only a little bit of film left for an outro? We can't go further? Oh, god damn it. Link. So all of these techniques come together to help represent culture and identity through multiple uses of language techniques. And that will have to do for today. Thank you all for watching, and I gotta skedaddle. Here I go!